We see what Gwen, a maid, has really been up to when Anna finally coaxes the truth out of her. She has bought a typewriter and started taking a correspondence course in hopes of becoming a secretary. Unfortunately, O'Brien walks in on Anna and Gwen when they're admiring her typewriter, and being her usual self, she snitches on Gwen. The typewriter is brought into the servants' hall and put on the table for everyone to gawk at, which is the last thing Gwen would have wanted. When she walks into the room, she's made to explain herself to everyone.
Because I want to leave service. I want to be a secretary.
Mr. Costin and Mrs. Hughes are horrified that someone would want to leave service. I love how Anna stands up for Gwen.
Under my notice, I shall be happy to think one of them will be taking my place.
What makes you think we'll wait till then?
Are you hiring and sacking now, Miss O'Brien?
Anna is one of the nicest people in this entire show, just behind Lady Sybil. Upstairs, Lady Mary has been corresponding with the Honourable Evelyn Napier, son of Viscount Branksome. In episode 2, when Mary brings out the tale of Andromeda, she was hinting at Evelyn being Perseus. Basically, we got a shot of her letters with Evelyn when Edith was snooping about her stuff. I didn't really know where to place it in the video, so I didn't bother. But speaking of things that I didn't know how to place in a video, is this whole Cora's money fortune thingy. So where did Cora get all this money from? So back in those days, these rich aristocrats had bankrupted themselves by spending too much and were left penniless. To save their historic homes and estates, they had to marry wealthy heiresses. Luckily for them, in America, new money families were looking for ways to cement themselves in high society, and what better way than to marry their daughters into the aristocracy. These women were called dollar princesses, and famous examples include Consuelo Vanderbilt, whose life inspired the story of Gladys Russell from The Gilded Age, and Jenny Jerome, Winston Churchill's mom. Cora's family was pretty rich, and it was her dowry that saved Downton from going under. Anyways, Cora has Mary invite Evelyn to come hunting. They, her family, can see that Mary is not really interested in Matthew, so might as well get these two together. Napier is also bringing along Kemal Pamuk, an attaché to the Turkish embassy, much to Mary's annoyance. Edith is back to flinging herself at Mary's suitors, first Patrick and now Matthew. She basically forces Matthew to go visit some old churches and admire the architecture with her. Matthew really doesn't care for these churches or her, but he's trying to be nice.
Where should we go next?
Not home.
Well, not yet. We've time for one more, at least, before we lose the light.
I underestimated your enthusiasm.
No, you were exactly right about his enthusiasm. He does not care for you or for these old buildings. Bates, who has a limp, decides it's about time he gets his limp fixed and goes to one of those shops and buys something that looks like a torture device. This thing that is supposed to help him creates more problems than it solves, causing Bates so much pain, but he keeps it on anyways in hopes that it will correct his limp. Evelyn Napier and his party arrive at Downton to hunt. He's brought Pamuk with him, and Mary is initially not interested in hanging out with.
Funny little foreigner with a wide, toothy grin and hair reeking of pomade.
That is, until she sees him.
Lady Mary Crawley, I presume?
Yup, she's in love. Nothing noteworthy happens during the hunt, except Mary falling for Pamuk harder, and after all that's done, they come back home. Mary isn't the only one with a crush on Kemal.
Have you seen our visitor? Quite a treat for the ladies.
And yup, Thomas too. He's assigned to be Kemal's valet, and he's like, you know what, maybe I should shoot my shot. This scene is just so hard for me to watch, because as viewers we know Kemal is not gay, and this is going to go so south. It ends up blowing up in his face, and Kemal threatens to expose him unless he teaches him, quote, the geography of the house. I wonder what room he's trying to get into. Later during dinner, Carson brings up Gwen's wish to become a secretary, which opens a full-blown debate at the table. Violet is shocked that someone wouldn't want to be a maid for the rest of her life, and Isabel and Sybil are the only ones willing to stand up for her. Mary is too busy flirting with Pamuk, much to the dismay of Napier and Matthew.
Would you ever come out with me? Or aren't we friends enough for that?
Oh, I think it might be.
That run reminded me of a day last month up in Cheshire. We came down the side of a hill.
Excuse me.
It seems we must brush up on our powers of fascination.
So someone's starting to get jealous, huh? Later that night, Thomas keeps his word and takes Kemal to Mary's room. Mary is obviously shocked to see Pamuk has now found a room, and she's basically in that time period's version of underwear. This whole thing is just so disgusting. He doesn't force himself on her, but it isn't exactly consent on Mary's part. And he knows what he's doing. Men got a lot more leeway during this time period and could sleep around before marriage, but women did not get that. If word were to get around, no man in their right minds would want to touch her or her sisters with a 10-foot pole. He isn't ruining Mary's life, he's also ruining her sisters' lives. I'll save the rest of this rant for the review. They do it, and the scene is cut to Mary waking Anna up. Pamuk has literally died in Mary's bed and she's screwed. Mary has to get Pamuk back to his bed, but dragging such a large man from one side of the castle to another is not something Anna and Mary can do by themselves, and she's forced to wake her mother up and tell her what she did. Cora is angry and sad at the same time, but helps her daughter do what she must. Unfortunately, they're seen by Daisy, the kitchen maid, who doesn't have the strongest nerves. The next morning, I guess you can imagine the shock of everyone in the house. But Mary isn't coping really well and crashes out in Granny Violet and cries in front of Napier. Napier has lost interest for Mary romantically, and I guess Mary didn't really feel anything for him either. So Napier explains himself to Cora and leaves. At least something good has come out of Gwen's secret being exposed as Sybil finds her a job in the newspaper. Sybil is literally an angel on earth. And some more good news. Mrs. Hughes has Bates confess to wearing the torture device which had him limping about in pain, and gets him to ditch them and makes him promise that he'll never try to cure himself again. I am so disgusted with that Pamuk guy, and I am not on the fence about this. That was 100% not consensual. Even though he tells Cora that he did not force himself on her, he literally threatens her. When she threatens to scream or ring the bell, he's like, oh, so you're going to let people in this house find you with a man in your bedroom, implying that no one's going to believe her when she says that he's not there by her invitation. It's not like Thomas is going to snitch on himself, so she lets it happen. It's not consent, it's coercion. Moving on to something a little lighter, there's a scene where Gwen breaks down after her typewriter is shown to everyone. And after seeing the skepticism on everyone's face, she starts doubting her own abilities. This is such a real thing, thinking that you're somehow getting above yourself. It's nice seeing her having the support system of people who cheer her on and believe in her even when she's doubting herself, like Sybil, Anna, and Bates. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more videos. Check out my other videos if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.